Hi, my name is Jackie McNeil, and I'm a physical therapist here at Renew Physical Therapy. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about Pilates and how I use Pilates to incorporate with my physical therapy practice. Pilates is a great form of exercise, and it is a philosophy that uses the body to improve on strength as well as using length. So there's decreased compression on the spine, decreased compression on the joints, and improved stability. A lot of the stability comes in through what we talk about as the core. So the core muscles vary in the Pilates sets. So that includes the transverse abdominis, the multifidi muscles in the back, the glutes, the hip adductors, as well as the pelvic floor. So there's a combination of muscles that are included in the core. So everything comes from stability within the center of the body. So this is a great fundamental to understand in terms of using the body correctly. This also helps with posture as well as mobility and improving the body's movement. And that translates over into function and everyday positioning.
About posture. We all know posture is very important to us. Everyone's reminding us about having good posture. So we learn quite a bit about how to hold yourself well and maintain your body in good postural alignment. You're also able to learn about flexibility for the body, as well as develop muscle tone. So this is not so much about developing power or strong muscles. It's more about developing muscle tone and using the muscles together to activate and hold your body in better alignment. So that's Pilates in a nutshell. And I want to show you a little bit about how it operates, how it works, to see if it's something that's right for you. And again, to train you safely so that you're understanding it well for your own body. So one of the important things about Pilates is understanding the breathing. When we talk about the basics of breathing, and I want you all to try this at home as well. When we talk about breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. So take that nice inhale through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Oftentimes we'll suggest to people when they're exhaling through the mouth as if you're blowing out candles. So an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So you can try this in a sitting position. You can try this lying down. You can try this standing in any position, but that inhale and exhale. Breathing is very important with Pilates. It does depend on what part of the exercise you're doing, as far as should I inhale at this time or do I exhale at this time. So you are going to practice right now just that basic inhale and exhale. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, like you're blowing out candles. So it's a nice full inhale and exhale. So you're not exhaling like it's your 100th birthday. So it's not a big exhale like you're blowing out 100 candles, okay? So a nice smooth exhale. Good. So breathing is very critical in Pilates and understanding the proper breathing mechanics, when to inhale and when to exhale. So that's the first thing I wanted to teach you about. The other thing that's very important is finding what we call a neutral spine. Some Pilates instructors or some exercises are going to cue you to either create a neutral spine or a flat back position. And so it depends on the body in terms of what is safe and what's comfortable for your own body. I'm going to lie down on my back and I invite you to do the same. You can be on camera or you can turn your camera off if you'd like, but feel free to provide a safe space for yourself so that you can find that neutral spine. I usually like to teach people to find their neutral spine lying down on their back. I'm going to go ahead and lie down. I'm going to show you side profile here. So as I lower down onto my back, if I'm creating a neutral spine is actually right where I start. In this lying down position here, this is my neutral spine. For each body, there are going to be differences. So you may feel like you can slide your fingers under the small of the back or the low back. You may be able to fit your fingers through here. You may have a big space. You may have a small space. Each individual is different. that you can place your fingers underneath there. That's your neutral spine. A flat back position is going to be more familiar. Some people may have heard the term of a pelvic tilt or a posterior pelvic tilt or a flat back. That's going to be where my pelvis is tilting back, where I'm creating more of a flat back, meaning my low back, that space that I had before, is now more in contact with the mat. That's a flat back position. So that's the position of the spine, neutral spine or flat back position. Like I said, it varies from person to person in terms of the exercise, if you should have a flat back or if you should have a neutral spine. The other thing that I want to show you along with that, aside from that neutral spine or flat back position, is knowing how to, as you're lying, we're going to lie on our backs to show you, but in finding those transverse abdominis muscles. So a very important muscle in terms of performing Pilates exercises are the transverse abdominis. So they're different from the rectus abdominis, which run up and down. That's basically your six pack that you create there. The transverse abdominis run horizontally. So the muscles actually travel in this direction here, and they travel sit and nice and low onto the body. Basically close to that zipper line is where they're going to be most tangible. So in order to find them, you can lie on your back, finding the bony pelvis here, traveling over, pressing deep. I'm going to engage my transverse abdominal muscles. Because they run horizontally, it's almost as if I'm pulling my belly inward. Sometimes we'll refer to that as pulling the belly button in towards the spine. One way I like to refer to that in terms of finding those muscles and feeling those muscles to see if you're doing it correctly is you should be able to maintain a neutral spine, meaning your back is not pushing hard and flat. You're still in that neutral spine, but you're able to feel those muscles engage, or you're feeling that they're a bit more firm when you're engaging those muscles. If you're finding that you're still having difficulty with that, one thing I might recommend, it's almost similar as if you were zipping up a tight pair of jeans. You got those jeans, hold on those jeans, pull them up, then you've got to get to the zipper part. So that's down low. It's not up by the diaphragm, so you don't want to suck in on the diaphragm. You want to come down by the zipper line as if you're zipping up those tight pair of jeans. You're going to pull the belly button in just slightly, still, as I said, in that neutral spine, and you're going to pull the belly button in. You're just going to feel a little more firmness to those muscles. Again, not a pelvic tilt, just firmness through those muscles alongside the pelvis there. So if we can get those muscles, those are our transverse abdominis. Some instructors will tell you to tighten your core. Core in Pilates are many different muscles. It's not just the one. So if we want you to engage those transverse abdominis, that's what we're going to indicate. Part of the core muscles are also the glute muscles or the buttocks area, the pelvic floor, which is a Kegel exercise, the multifidi, which are the muscles that travel up and down the back, as well as the inner thigh muscles, the hip adductors. So that's when sometimes we'll use a bolster, a block, a yoga block, or we might even use a ball or a rolled up towel, a pillow. Putting that in between the knees can help turn on those inner thigh muscles just to get a little bit more. I want to make sure you get your money's worth. So using as many muscles as you can, you're going to maintain optimal position, optimal alignment. So as I said, when we talk about strengthening the center, it's because you're using the pelvic floor, the inner thigh muscles, the adductors, you're using those transverse abdominis. You're going to use the muscles, the multifidi, those small muscles in the back, and you're also going to be using the glutes. So there's a combination of muscles you're working together. That's your strong center. Joe Pilates, who first discovered the Pilates method, it was named after him. He created these exercises. He referred to that as the body's powerhouse. So that's the center of you. If you can strengthen that powerhouse, that's what's going to hold you tall, strong. It's going to help you maintain that nice posture. But you've got to know where those muscles are. So what I think is nice about Pilates is it helps you find those muscles, localize them, get them to turn on, use them to your benefit. So that's the powerhouse there. So what I want to show you is just a couple of different exercises that you can do at home. They don't necessarily require any props or tools or any equipment or any resistance equipment. I am going to give you some ideas on modifications of these exercises, or even just give you some ideas on props that you can use, everyday items that you have around the house, just to use to make the exercises a bit more easy for you. Sometimes when they're a little too challenging, it makes it a little too taxing for your body. So you do want to remember props can be used to help you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull out a few props I have to my side here. Again, I welcome you all to join me on these exercises. So the exercises I'm going to teach you is, we refer to this as the Pilates 5. Again, I'm going to show you modifications on these. So with all these exercises, you will be lying flat on your back. If you need a pillow for your support, for your head, you can use a pillow under your head, or you can do it without a pillow. We're going to lie on our back with our knees bent. Some of those props that I was talking about is you can use a roller. I'm going to grab a roller from my side here. For some bodies, a roller can be helpful. So if you have a roller at home, if you have it nearby, you can bring that out. I'm going to show you how you can use the roller. But for the most part, I'm going to demonstrate these exercises without the roller. I'm going to place the roller under my legs, lifting my hips. I'm going to place that roller under my sacrum, which is a bone. I'm not on the low back. I'm on a bony area in between the buttocks and the low back. That actually helps me keep that spine in a neutral position and my pelvis in a neutral position. I can move my legs without the roller changing place. Again, this roller is not across my low back, it's across the sacrum, which is below the low back, the lower part of the spine. The bony prominence, it's going to keep my back in a neutral position and a neutral pelvis. That's one option that you can use, but like I said, I'm going to show you without, for some of you who may not have a roller at home. So the first exercise we're going to do in this Pilates 5, we're going to refer to them as toe taps. So again, we're starting with the knees bent. I'm going to move that roller out of the way. We're starting with the knees bent here. One variation of the toe tap is I can keep one foot down. I'm going to rise one up. I'm going to lower it back down. Bringing one up, lowering it back down. One up, lowering back down, up, and lower down. Throughout this, I'm maintaining a neutral spine, not a flat back position. An advancement of this, doing toe taps, or we refer to them as marching, is going to be bringing one leg up as well as the alternate leg. So now I have both legs up. This is more advanced. You can see my hips are slightly past a 90-degree angle. This is a full 90-degree angle of my hips. This is moving past, it's a little more stable on my back. I have my knees a little closer to my body. My knees are bent in a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to do toe taps from here. The longer the lever, meaning the further away I go, the harder it is. I'm going to need to maintain a neutral spine, or I can do a flat back position. Lowering down, toe taps. Exhaling as I lower down, inhaling, come up. Exhaling down, inhale, come up. Exhale down, inhale up. Exhale down, inhale up. I'm going to rest my feet for a bit. At any time, if it's comfortable for you, you can bring your knees in towards your chest, give them a hug. This is usually a little more of a stretch on the low back. If I want a challenge from that beyond, I can bring my legs up in this position. I can bring my body up as well and toe tap. As a physical therapist, classically, I don't have people coming up and rounding because that can be a contraindication of someone who has osteoporosis. I typically don't want them going into the forward rounding position, or what we refer to as an upper ab curl. So that is a contraindication if you have either osteoporosis or disc dysfunction. I typically wouldn't have someone come up into that upper ab curl, which means that tabletop position with the curl upright here. I typically would not do the upper ab curl. So that's a contraindication. So that was the first one, the toe taps, okay? Moving on to the next exercise, I'm going to hold one knee towards my chest. This is a single leg stretch. So I'm going to alternate. Some people refer to this as a bicycle. I'm holding one close to my chest, and I'm going to alternate. I'm going to alternate. So I'm going to inhale, exhale out, inhale, exhale out, inhale, exhale, switch, inhale, exhale, switch. Now, modification from this, if it's too hard to go into tabletop, I'm going to keep one leg down. I'm going to straighten the leg out. I'm going to inhale, pull it back in. Exhale, take the other leg out. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale out. Inhale, back in. If I can take that challenge, if I'm able to maintain a tabletop position, and I can come out, and I can give this opposite leg a hug. It's actually more supportive on the back. Exhale as I switch. That's my second one. That's a single leg stretch. Very nice. Good. So my next one is what I call a crisscross. This is the third one in the series. So crisscross is working on the obliques a bit more. These are all mat exercises, meaning we're not using equipment such as the reformer or the Cadillac. We're not using equipment, so I want to teach you how you can do these on your own at home. And know that when you're not using the reformer or other pieces of equipment, there's going to be a lot of abdominal work. So it's going to be really challenging for you. So I'm allowing you to take these little breaks. Like I said, if you need that little break too, give those knees a hug, bring them into your chest close, give them a hug. Okay, because these are hard for me too. All right, so the next one, this is the third one on the lineup of the Pilates 5. The third one is called crisscross. This is for the obliques. So like I said, we can either bring one knee up to your chest. This is the modification. This is kind of like the opposite arm and leg that we're doing. Because I consider the low back, if any sort of back or low back dysfunction, I really don't want this upper body lift here. So instead, I'm going to have you keep your head and neck down. I'm going to have you reach across. And then I'm going to have you switch, reach across. I'm doing this slow for you to see. I'm reaching across. I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to reach across. Switching sides, reach across. If I can take a more advanced form of this, I'm going to come up into what I call a tabletop position, right? This is my Pilates tabletop position. Again, I'm reaching across. So the knee that's bent is the direction I'm reaching in. The opposite leg is straight. I'm going to switch. I'm reaching in the direction of my bent knee that's close to me. I'm going to switch. So I inhale, pull in, exhale, come out. Inhale, pull in, exhale, out. I'm reaching across. My head, neck is down. I'm not lifting up that head and neck. My back is down as well. In this case, I'm going to keep more of a flat back position if I'm bringing both legs up into tabletop. Okay? So that's my crisscross. That's where I went opposite, where the knee is bent, opposite. I'm switching sides, opposite. Okay, so that's crisscross. Number 4 is going to be a single leg stretch. So if we can, we're going to take both legs up to straight. If we cannot, we're going to take single leg, we're going to lower it down, we're going to pull it back up. We're going to exhale, lower it down, pull it back up. This is going to give us a nice hamstring stretch. Exhale down, come back up. Exhale down, come back up. We're doing a great job. We're going to go into tabletop. If our hamstrings aren't crazy tight, we can straighten both. We're going to hold one. We're going to lower one down. We're going to switch. Exhale, switch. You can see my hamstrings are so tight. Exhale, switch. Good. If that's too hard again, remember, we're going to keep one leg down. Straight leg. We're going to get this nice stretch as we inhale. Exhale, down. Stretch to inhale. Exhale, down. Stretch. Exhale, down. But if we're able to, from tabletop, going to straight legs, as straight as we're able to, straight leg stretch. Good, that's a hard one. And bend the knees, give them a hug. Good, our last one of the Pilates 5. The last one is going to be the double leg stretch. So double leg stretch, We can do two different ways. So double leg stretch, we're gonna take those legs at the same pace. If we can do it from our tabletop position, we're gonna send both legs away. If I'm able to, I'm gonna go in a small range. The further out I go, the more challenge it's gonna be because it's gonna be a longer lever. So I may go in a small range, double leg, meaning both legs together, small range. I don't have to go very far. If I'm able to, I'm gonna go a bit further. I need to keep a flat back position. I'm not letting my back arch. I'm keeping my back in contact with the mat. Double leg stretch. If you're a rock star and no tight hamstrings, then you can lower the legs and come back up and lower, come back up. That's too hard. I have tight hamstrings. But if you're able to, that's your modification. Straight leg, more of a progression. Straight leg, so it's modification or a peel back, bent knees, bringing them out. Only to your comfort. Your back should stay in contact with the mat the entire time. Should not feel them going away. This is a nice opportunity where you can use a ball or a towel, something in between the knees to help you. That's going to get the inner thighs working. That's going to help keep you more solid and more grounded. Using something between the thighs or between the knees. Taking those legs together, bringing them back in. Exhaling as you're going away. Inhale, come back. Exhale away, inhale, come back. If you're wondering as far as repetitions or how many of these you should be doing, I usually recommend about 6 to 8 repetitions if you're a beginner. If you're a little more advanced, you can move from 8 to 10 repetitions as you're going through these motions. These are really great exercises. I refer to this, as I said, as the Pilates 5. It's a really nice way to work the abdominals, work the inner thighs, challenge your abdominal muscles, as well as work on length. As I said, you're getting that nice length. Very important to have energy and power through the legs as you're reaching out and away, rather than just a passive leg. You want to have that nice length, as I said. Really good length as you're extending the leg out and bringing it back in. So I want to thank you for joining me today. This is our Pilates workshop. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us here at Renew Physical Therapy. We hope you're all staying safe, and we want to keep you healthy and active. So we want to do what we can to help you get there. If you have any questions, you can contact our office. I believe Marissa has left our contact information in the chat box.
Yeah, so if anyone is interested in scheduling, please feel free to email us at admin@ptrenew.com. Or if you have any Pilates questions, you can email Jackie@pt.renew.com. And we also linked her Pilates page if anyone is interested in learning more. And if you happen to miss out on some of the videos or anything like that, please feel free to look at our channel. I left the link below, and you can have access to our webinars that we've done.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you, everyone, for joining me.